Hello and welcome or welcome back to my Flosstube channel. Hello to new subscribers that I haven't made a video for since you've subscribed, and welcome back to my lovely long-standing followers. And I'm so sorry that it has been such a long time since I recorded. Life has been manic. I think I last did a whip parade. Um, I think that was back in June maybe. So I've pulled this in just before New Year, and hopefully next year I'll get back into a routine of making more regular videos for you all. Sorry, my throat's a bit tight. So I've got a cup of tea here. Ooh, it's very full. See how full it is. Excuse me. I've got a cup of tea which will hopefully help my throat a bit. I hope everyone's had a lovely festive period. We have had very quiet time. Just come back from visiting my in-laws yesterday. We didn't take the dogs this time, so I felt a bit lost, if I'm honest, without them having to look after them. I did get masses of stitching done while I was away though, and I will show you that shortly. So yeah, I had a lovely festive time and I'm glad to be back. I will quickly say that this is my Flosstube video, so any personal thoughts about things that are happening in the world will be kept as such, as personal thoughts, but please do know that I am against any sort of violence towards others, any sort of war, any sort of oppression of the vulnerable and the minority is not acceptable. What is going on in the world where innocent people are being hurt, innocent people are being killed, I am not for that. And we'll leave that there and move on to some stitchy stuff. Shall I show you a finish? I have finished something. Not only have I finished it, I have fully finished it. I'm just looking around the room to see if I've got any Christmas stitching that I've fully finished that you haven't seen. No. Oh, where is it? It was on this chair, and then I got up to go somewhere. Hold please. Found it. So, last video, I'm going to try and download some swanky software that means I can insert pictures. Last time you saw this piece, there, it looked like this. I hope I can put that in. But now, Prince Pondworthy looks like this. Doesn't he look fab? Isn't he lovely? Shouldn't sing, not this early in the morning. Isn't he wonderful? I finished him in this frame that I got in a charity shop. I gold leafed the edge, so just used some special glue and gold leaf on like paper fine gold leaf. And I think he suits his frame wonderfully. He lives just up on the wall, just here, in the archway. So I love him. He was a joy stitch. He is stitched using CXC threads. Oh, he's a pattern from Fine Frog Stitching. And he was stitched using CXC threads on, I think it's a 20 count Ada. It was a random piece that somebody gifted my mum and she gave to me. But yeah, look at that shading. He's so special. So special. Sorry about the lights. There we go. So yes, I mentioned CXC threads. I have sort of switched my new project, or any new projects will probably be in CXC threads now because they're cheaper. Let's be honest. You can buy them at 25p a skein, and at the moment in Hobbycraft it's about £1.50 a skein for DMC. So, excuse me. So I'm going to go for CXC. Yes, they might be a bit fluffy and they're definitely thicker. He was 1/1, but you can't see can't see the fabric through because it is that nice thickness of thread. So yeah, so CXC is the way forward from me. I buy mine from, is it Cross and Crafts on Etsy? I'm sure I've got their card. You can see I'm really well organised and prepared for this video. I can't see their card, so I will mention it later maybe. Okay, let's just pop that down there so it doesn't fall off. Flick of the hair. Right, so that I think is the only finish I've had recently. I stand to be corrected. I can't remember. I made a list of all my whips yesterday and I've got 50. Bang on. Which is slightly worrying. Actually, bear with me, it might be 51 because I don't think I wrote one of them down. Darn it, it's 51. You see, I'm sighing because I'd made a plan that I'd go into 2024 with 50 whips. But if I had 50, I needed to finish one so I can start something new on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. And I know what that is, and I'm starting it anyway, whether I've got 53 or 57 or 59,000. But that just disappoints me because 50 is a nice round number. So I was going to try and finish something before New Year's or before New Year's Day, so I could, or before New Year's Eve. I was trying to finish something, bring it down to 49, so that I could start something else and have 50. Round numbers, I like them. 50 is a nice round number. It'll just have to be 51, which isn't. And also 51, do you not think then leads you to start more? Because you're over 50, you're over that nice round number, you might as well get it to another nice round number like 60. But 50 is like, I can cap it there and I can work on what I've got to cap it there. We will see. Time will tell whether I go crazy or have I already gone, is probably what you're thinking. I may well be. Shall I talk about what I was going to finish? Because that's sort of, I was going to try and finish this before New Year. I haven't got a boardy board to show you to hold. Oh, I've just dropped something on the floor. Oh, excuse me. I'll pick that up before the dogs get it. It's some blue thread. I've got to stop filling on my hair. Stop it. So a boardy board would be useful. Let's hold a project bag up behind it. So I would like to finish this. Can you see I've only got a teeny tiny bit to do at the bottom, and it says 2023 on it because that's the year I started. I changed that middle motif. This is Snowdrop Cottage by Little Dove. Little Dove Designs. I've just got that bottom bit to do. I changed out the date. There was a snowdrop in there, but I wanted to put the date in, and I've added my two little dogs and my cat in the window. And sadly she's no longer with us, so I would like this finished and framed. There's quite a few more of these that were in Cross Stitcher magazine. I would like to stitch as well. The sunflower one, I love sunflowers, so maybe I'll do the sunflower one this coming year. Should be nice. So that's the one I'm thinking of finishing this year, trying to get a finish this year. And then in my little book, do you like this book? It's I got it in Waterstones. It's sort of William Morris-esque, which I do like. We were looking at William Morris curtains, but I'm not that grown up. So I was thinking of things I could finish in 2024, and that was definitely on there if I don't do it this time round. I'm not sure. I'm going to show you what I've been working on recently, and there's a couple of new starts, and I think, I can't remember if you know, if I've shown them before on my videos or not, I'm afraid. So this one I probably have shown you, and it looks like this last time. I'm doing this so that when I edit, I haven't edited for ages, but when I edit I can notice that my hand's here, and then therefore I should put in a picture. So, oh, excuse the zip noise, sorry about this, I'll do it very quickly. There we go. So this has progressed greatly. So this is Ragnarok, and it's by Long Dog Samplers. There's a few of us doing it as a sort of a start along. So there's no sort of points you should be at, if you know what I mean, but we've all started it, and there is where I'm at. So I'm going down the right hand side of the pattern because I wanted to get to this little guy. Now it was up here before I started stitching on it this time, this sort of rotation, should we say, and then my friend Fiona guilt tripped me into picking it up, and I haven't been able to put it down since. I've started this serpent, he sort of goes like that over there, and I love this shark. There's a little fishy in the sea, big fishy there. This is going to be an octopus. This is going to be so this is going to be a dragon, I think, and that's his tail curling round, and the seahorse, the little kitty cat. Tempted to give the kitty cat fluorescent green eyes, I don't know why. And I've started this stag here, and I love it. It was, you know, I took 3 or 4 projects with me to my in-laws, and I literally just sat and stitched on this the whole time. Let me put him away. I'm stitching in 1/1 on, I think it's antique white. Oh no, it's just plain white Zweigart 25 count, and I'm stitching him in 550, and that is DMC. So that's that one, Ragnarok. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Haven't started that, let me show you that later if I remember, if I don't bury it under everything else. Something else I've started. It was a start. I started it late because we were at the in-laws, so that was the start of December. We went to see my in-laws, and I didn't take this project with me because it's 40 count, and I didn't want to take the whole setup. But I should have done, because of that I got a bit behind. Now this is the I'll put a picture here of what it's going to look like. I'll ask Fiona for a picture because she's finished it. This is the Evertote Roxy Floss Co. Jacob de Graaf of Modern Folk Embroidery collaboration. I didn't buy the advent box where you get a thread every day, much as I would love to have done. I was very, very well disciplined and didn't. I just got this, and I'm stitching it in my own, well, not my own colourway. I'm using, let me show you. Let me get it off this ring. Sorry about this, everybody. Oh no, don't do that. I nearly dropped all my threads on the floor. So I'm using Coffee Craft fabric. It's a 40 count. It's got some lovely mottling, and I've done day 1. You can't see up here, but there's some stitches up there, and some stitches down here. I'm using very, very tonal colours, tone on tone, and I'm using the Roxy Floss Co. Goodbye Summer pack, and I've also added in this one, which is Fairy Dust and Aubergine. I love this colour. It's not as black as it's showing on there, it's more purpley, but only slightly. It is quite a dark colour. And yeah, so that's 1/2 on 40 count. I'm really enjoying 1/over something stitching because you don't need to railroad, which is where you sort of go through the threads when you're coming back down to make sure everything lies nicely. That hand image probably would have made my husband laugh because he's a child. Sorry, got something in my eye. You don't need to see that though. I might edit that bit out. Probably won't. But yeah, it's lovely. I know that those who have stitched it really enjoyed stitching it, and I will get to it at some point, but I will probably get to it. I ought to do the one from last year, the 2022 one. Do you think? Maybe I'll do 2022 and 2023 at the same time. I'm storing it in this little project folder that is from Canny Fox, I think they are. They make these, like, I think they call, I can't remember what they call them, Day Home folder or something. I love it. It's got the zippy pouch and it's got a pen holder because I do a lot of my cross stitch now from paper, and so I colour it in, yes, with a felt tip pen. So that lives in there, in the little holder, and it's got a little thread ring, which is what these were all clipped to, and they're all a mess now. Yeah, it's just a very good little folder, very handy, and that's what that lives in. And I love the Driving Home for Christmas song. And look, Father Christmas is driving home for Christmas, and he's got a Christmas tree on a bright red car, and now my new car is bright red. So that was a long story, but the new car is a long saga, but you don't need to know that. Those of you that know me personally know my car story. What's in here? This is a Tiger Lily Designs project pouch. I do make my own. For example, the next thing I'm going to show you is in one of my own, but I get so frustrated making them, and it's just easier to buy them sometimes. So treat yourself, why not? So in here is something I started at Stitch London, which was the retreat I went on in October, hosted by Marie of Stitches and Diamonds. She is, I mean, you get the feeling from her Flosstube that she is the nicest person in the world, and I can vouch for it. Meeting her in person, oh, she is nothing was too much for this lady. Her husband, if I'd have met him a weekend where England weren't playing South Africa and at the rugby and England lost, unfortunately, I probably might like him a bit more, but as it was, I'm only joking, your husband is adorable, Marie, and you're very lucky to have him, or should I say he's very lucky to have you. Anyhow, stitching, Marie's lovely. Stitch in London was a tonic. I needed it at that point, and it just, oh, it was lovely. And here's what I started, and I couldn't put this down for a long time, and then unfortunately I did put it down for a long time. I need to pick it back up again. This is AKGIT, oh, which is going to look like this. AKGIT by Modern Folk Embroidery. But it's not going to look like that because it's going to look very, very colourful. I am stitching this 1/1 on 20, I think it's 28 count. Antique Whites Figart, and I love it. I'm using the Roxy Flosscoat Pride colourway. Oh, these are all a mess. I would love to show you them tidily and all nicely. So these are chosen by, I think it was Daniel at Evertote who chose this colourway to be the new Pride set. So I'm using those and only those. I've got a couple of sets and I can always order some more if I need to by the time I get to the end of it. Let's be honest, it's not going to be happening anytime soon, is it? But isn't it lovely? I think when I pick it up I'll do the next one of these just here And that will be probably in purple maybe. Oh, that'll be exciting. Although red, orange, yellow, green, blue, that will be purple there, the next crown, so this can't be. That's going to be, it's going to get tricky. It's going to get tricky. I probably shouldn't make such tricky rules, should I? So yeah, that was my Stitch in London piece, and I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Before we went to Stitch in London, I went to a Stitchy Day in Bristol, where I met my lovely friends, and I took my daughter along and she loved it. I don't think she wants to go to another one, but she did enjoy herself. She didn't love it. I mean, she spent a lot of my money, but she hasn't touched what she bought, so I think that fabric's going to go in my box now. She can keep the scissors, but otherwise. You've seen this before, but on a different linen, and I wasn't stitching it because it was on a linen I didn't like. So I've started it again. Sorry, I'm looking for the cover photo. I've started it again. It is Hydrangea Fairy by Joan Elliott. She's lovely, isn't she? I haven't done masses, but I've done more than I had done when I started again, if that makes sense. And this is on a 36 count. I hope that's not going to be too troublesome when it comes to putting beads in and things. And it's a coffee craft fabric. 36 count. It's just lovely. It's even weave, and I think even weave is my preference, because, and also 36 count, because I'm doing this one strand on 36 count, and the coverage is really nice. Yeah, I think linen and I aren't a match made in heaven, so we should just not meet up anymore. So that's fine. That's fine. Let that one go. I've got a few things that are on linen and I will finish them, but I know for future, don't buy linen because you don't like it. I've got quite a lot of linen in my stash, so I'll use that eventually. Something I do have now is a Lowry stand. And so I'm using proper frames. I bought the Lowry because I get a lot of headaches, and my osteopath thinks that it's because I've hit the issue a lot. So I bought a Lowry so that I can stitch at this sort of height, and so I can use by looking down instead of looking down. Use my eyes rather than my neck. So that's the plan. So yeah, I've just taken something off my Lowry while I was talking, and I'll show you my Christmas present from my husband. It came in a rather, well, I knew what it was because I'd asked him to order it back in October. And it came in a beautiful box. And if those of you know, this is a Gecko Rouge kit. He was very impressed with how it was all presented. He said, oh, your cross stitch looks lovely. I was like, have you opened it? He said, no, but the box it's come in is lovely. And the kit I chose is Peter Pig by Tanya Bond. And as I said, it's a Gecko Rouge. Isn't he cute? Look at his little boat in the puddle. I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him. When I opened this on Christmas Day and showed my children, my two girls, this, my older daughter, bless her, said, you have to start that immediately. And so I did. You know, the child has spoken. Well, when I say child, she's actually an adult. And this is how far I've got. I've done about 3.86%, I think it is. 3.9%. You can see how big it's going to be. This is the bottom, and then the head is a good another third. So, but it's not going to be, you know, this is the outer edge here. So probably about that big wide. And I've got a little needle minder. Fiona bought me this dragon needle minder. My twin stitcher, Leslie sent me this Dashing Through the Snow needle minder because I do have two Dashins. I love him. I've been stitching on him this morning. He's just gorgeous. And stitching on a frame in my Lowry stand has changed how I stitch, and I stitch faster and I enjoy it more. So way, that's excellent for all my projects, all my 50 odd projects that I've got going. Let me show you something else I got for Christmas from my friend Fiona. She stitched me the bridge in Newcastle. Is it the Tyne Bridge? Which you run over when you do the Great North Run, which I should have done back in 2020, but of course it was a virtual run, so I did it here and just went along the A5, which is quite different. Don't quite get the buzz of running over that bridge. I love this. It's up here on my stitchy spot. My stitchy spot makes me sound like Sarah and her stitchy spot. Let me show you this, which is also on my stitchy spot, which I got in the Smalls Exchange from Sew Me Sarah, as I haven't done a floss tube since then. It says, "Stitching mends the soul." Isn't that true? Isn't that true? And then in the other Smalls Exchange, ooh, excuse me, I got this gorgeous biscornu from Adita, and I may have twisted Sammy's arm in the Floss Friends retreat to let me choose Adita's first, because I love it. I wanted something made by Adita, and that sits here on my stitchy spot too. Ooh, speaking of things that are on my stitchy spot, I have a few new charts. They're in cellophane, I'm afraid. I haven't taken them out. So we have Finley. No, we don't. We have Finley's friend Frankie. These are by Stacey Nash Designs. This is Finley. Aren't they fun? And I've wanted to stitch this guy for ages. P-Roy. Isn't he fab? And another one I quite like as well. It's called Count Twice, Stitch Once. I think I'll just stitch the snail with the needle and leave the wording off. I'm a weirdo, what can I say? But then these two have been charted, so other people must want to stitch slugs and snails. So it's not just me, because they exist. What else can I talk about? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should stop now and go and work out how to put things here. Oh, I have one thing I want to show you. It's a Bothy Threads kit. It is Sycamore Gap. And my friend Fiona and I are going to stitch this at some point. Whether we do it together or individually, I don't know. She's just ordered a Gecko Rouge kit, so she might be tied up for a little while. Because she's not like me, she doesn't have 51 whips. Maybe I'll start this for New Year too, at 52. What I am going to start, let me open it and show you. What I am going to start is very, very me at the moment. Let me show you the colours in this kit. You get the Zweigart Ada, but I think I might switch that out because I'm into my teeny tiny stitches, so I might do it on 25 count. The colours aren't showing, that's the shit. Here they are, there they are. They're just lush. Yum, 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 yum. So yeah, I think I'll stick that on, stitch that on a 25 count 1/1 or 28, whatever I can find. 32 count. I am doing my two full coverages, the Oak King and the Dragon, Chromatic Dragon. They're on 32 count, and I've got a Long Dog started on 32 count. But I don't think I'll choose. Actually, I think I could probably do that one on 32 count. I might do that. I think 32 count with CXC would be tricky because it's so fluffy and so thick. Well, it's not fluffy. It makes it sound like wool. It's not. It's not like that. The fluffiness you get in Violist kits that are fluffy. It's just thicker. It's just thicker and does have a tiny bit of fluff to it. So yeah, do this. Now I was saying, well, I'm going to start on New Year's Day or the 11th hour of New Year's Eve, depending on how far I get with my 12 for 12 plans. So I am planning on doing 12 for 12. I'm going to do 11 works in progresses, and then start a new start. And I'm going to start Quaternion Creations, I think it was Dragons and an Apple Sal, or Dragons and Apple Sal. Hopefully I'll be able to put a picture just here. I'm going to have to do some clever learning. I hope it's easy. And I'm going to start that, and I'm going to do it with different colours for the dragons. Instead of black for all the dragons, I'm going to do them different colours to match the colours of the dragons that are mentioned in Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, because those books captivated me. And I'm nearly done with Iron Flame. I've probably got about that much to go. They're just wonderful, and I would like a dragon piece. Next year is Chinese Year of the Dragon. I've got Chromatic Dragon on the go. I also have bought a couple of Anne Stokes full coverages, one from Pain Free Crafts and both from Pain Free Crafts actually. Let's put them here and here. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, am I a person that would have dragons on the wall? I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to really enjoy stitching them. And that's all that matters, isn't it? That I'm happy while I'm doing it. That said, they are huge. Huge, 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 huge. So it might take me a while. Oh, gosh. I think I've gone too far. I think I've spoken for too long. This has been a very quick update. A very quick catch up. I've probably stitched on a lot more than I've shown you today. I certainly feel like I have, but I can't think what it is. So all that's left for me to say is have a very lovely Happy New Year. I hope those of you that are working are happy doing so, and I go back to work. Well, I go back on the 8th, but I've got an exam, so I really do need to do some studying before then. So that starts on tomorrow, maybe. I keep saying that. I'll start it tomorrow. I really do need to get down to it. But I shall say Happy New Year now. I hope to meet lots of you in 2024. I'm going to a number of retreats, so hopefully we'll get to meet and share some stitchy excitement, because I don't know about you, but talking to other stitchers is exciting. It's no longer dark outside, so I probably ought to the Dachshunds and get on with stitching for the rest of the day. Have a lovely, lovely time, people, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.